let's turn to Dan Cox. He's the president and owner of Coffee Enterprises and joins us from Burlington, Vermont. So Dan, who would have guessed coffee craze in China? What's behind this growing popularity of coffee there?
Hey, Asieh, thanks for having me on. It's truly incredible. Here in the United States, we've kind of never thought of China as a place to either grow coffee or certainly consume coffee, but it's changing rapidly. And the Shanghai coffee city of the world, you're absolutely right. It's the #1 place for coffee in the world. It used to be in the United States, it was Seattle, but Shanghai, man, I'd love to come to Shanghai and participate in their festival. It's really a thing of beauty. And the other part is it's still in its infancy. We haven't even come close to reaching halfway mark. So the future is incredibly bright for both the coffee growers and coffee consumers and the exchange trade and job growth situation in China.
As you know, China traditionally has been known for its tea culture, and I'm going to go back to my original question because I don't think you answered that, Dan. What do you think is behind this coffee craze in China? Why are we seeing this now all of a sudden?
I think it's a couple things. #1, it certainly still comes down to economics. There is a huge rising middle class, and with the coming of middle class comes more disposable income. Coffee is looked upon as a refreshing, invigorating beverage. #2, its taste is very different than tea, lots and lots of different tastes. #3, the coffee retail segment over there is exploding. So it's become a very much of a social, atmospheric, indulgent place to go. So you just don't necessarily get a cup of coffee and you run out. People are going to the coffee stores and they're sitting down and they're enjoying it, and they're also enjoying the food. So it's invigorating. It tastes different and better from a lot of other beverages. And third, it's a social experience. And for the generation X and Z, this is what they're looking for.
Is there a link between the growth of a coffee culture and the increasing number of students who are going overseas to Western countries, drinking the coffee and coming back to China, and they want to be part of that culture?
I think there is very much in like the United States in the 40s and the 50s. We had no experience with dark-based, espresso-based beverages, but a lot of it in World War II, a lot of our soldiers were in Italy, and they came back bringing the culture of, hey, there's a whole nother coffee over there. So I think the students that come to European countries or North American countries to go to college, they come back with their eyes wide open saying, boy, there's a lot of different things out there, and we want to bring it back to China with us.
And is there your sense that these are mostly younger people who are into this coffee craze? I mean, who are the coffee drinkers? I mean, you mentioned Generation X and the younger people, but what about the older generation? Are they buying into this?
Little bit by little bit, they're kind of being pulled into it. Let's say the 60 and over crowd, they tend to view coffee with a little bit of skepticism. They'll certainly have it socially. They'll have it as people who are giving them gifts, but that's not necessarily their first choice. It's really the 25 to 50-year-old crowd that is really pushing for this. And if you break it down even further, it's the 25 to 35 or 40-year-old crowd. These are the ones that are really participating in the coffee retail segment.
All right, we'll leave it there. Dan Cox, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Drink more. Bye-bye.